Hi friends, I'm back. You haven't seen me in a few days. If you watched my little blueberry dessert cup, you'll know that I was in the recliner for 2 days with muscle spasms. I'm not doing anything great tonight. I'm going to do some Irish chicken. Yep, the Kelly girl's gonna do some Irish chicken. It's gonna be a one pot in the Dutch oven. Who doesn't like a one pot dinner? I do. So I took a pound of bacon out and I cut the bacon right in half. And I cooked half the pound of bacon in these little strips. So that's already cooked crisp. I left about 2 tablespoons of bacon grease. You can't see it. There's not much. There's just a tiny, tiny bit down there. You don't want your chicken all greasy. So then I made up a little spice. There's garlic powder in here. I'm going to say a tablespoon. There's black pepper, maybe a teaspoon, a half a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of onion powder. So we've got the garlic, the onion powder, the black pepper, the salt. I like to do smoked paprika, like a teaspoon of that, but I don't have any, so I just did some regular paprika. And there's a little ginger in here. I didn't want any ginger in here, but I got what I thought was my garlic powder out, and I started shaking it just a little bit. I'm like, oh, that's ginger, but we're leaving it in here. We're not wasting anything here, folks. So I'm just gonna pour this on a paper plate. And that's what I'm gonna do. And then I have some chicken thighs. That has become my favorite piece of chicken. So I got my spice on the paper plate. Just gonna dip it, my chicken thigh, in that spice. And I'm gonna lay it spiced down in my Dutch oven. And folks, if you don't have a Dutch oven, you should invest in one. If you like to cook and you want to be in the kitchen and you want one pot meals, you'll see I do a lot of one pot meals. They're good for me because if my brothers stop, my friends, my daughter's kids, they're always saying to me, Chops, are you having a nice dinner tonight? And I'll say, yep, I'm having a nice dinner tonight. Can we come? And Leland, my grandson, will always say to his mother, you didn't make anything good tonight. I bet you Chops is having a nice dinner, because I've always used that term with them. Why don't we get together Sunday and have a nice dinner? So it's funny, the little kids use that term. So I'm just dredging my chicken. And you could do this with skinless chicken. I'm not going to eat the skin of the chicken, but I do want it to cook in there with the flavor. But anyhow, to get back to the Dutch oven, I have a Pampered Chef one that has maybe, I don't know, a 3-inch rim, and it's kind of square. And that's really nice. I like to use that. Then I have this one that's real deep, that works. And then I have a blue one that's really big and oblong. Wasn't sure if I could do 4 or 6 in here. But I think I am going to get 6 in here. It'll just be really packed, but that's okay. Throwing that right on top. My final one. Throwing that right on top. Get rid of these chicken bags. Wash my hands. I have a cleaning bottle, guys, and this is bleach and H2O, 2 parts bleach and 8 parts water. I'm always wiping and disinfecting, and I never want any cross-contamination, any dribble of meat to be left on the counter that hasn't been fully cooked off. So I have that on, I don't know, I'm going to say medium. And that's cooking along. And we're just really going to cook it on both sides for, I'm going to say, 3 or 4 minutes, just to get it nice and brown. That's all we're doing here, folks. Getting it nice and brown. Here's my blueberry cottage cheese cups. They came out beautifully. And that's your double whammy of protein there, guys. That has your cottage cheese and your eggs in it. And blueberries and honey and cinnamon and vanilla. It's all that's in there, guys. We're just going to brown. Oh, it smells so good. Wow. It really smells nice. And I don't know. Maybe the ginger will become something I throw a little in. We'll have to see. Like I said, I didn't put much. There was a little splash. Yeah. So I peeled some potatoes. I think there were 4 or 5. And I had some carrots. I buy these to snack on. And they were getting that little coating on the outside. So I want to use these up. And these are perfectly fine to use. And then I had, my daughter went to the store and got me some cabbage. Because I had some, but it didn't last good. So and this was only just a small head of cabbage. So I chunked that up. So I cooked my bacon first. I'm browning. I dredged my chicken thighs in the spices, in the garlic powder, the pepper, the salt, the paprika, onion powder. And I mixed all that up and I dredged my chicken breasts in there. And they're browning nicely. I've got the temperature on medium. You don't want it on low. You want your chicken to sear nice. So you want it on medium, medium high. Like I said, I left a couple tablespoons of that bacon grease in there in the bottom. And when I cover this and when everything's in there and it's all gonna simmer up, it's gonna have such great flavor. I didn't have any chicken stock. So what I did was always keep bouillon cubes on hand, folks. Always keep your beef bouillon and your chicken bouillon on hand. So if you're at home and you haven't been feeling good and you pulled some chicken for dinner and you're not quite what you're going to do, because that's exactly what I did. But I knew, because I haven't been feeling well, that I wanted a one pot. Cook it, and then if someone stops in, if my brother stops in and he's hungry and wants some dinner, hey, in the Dutch oven, grab yourself a bowl, heat it up, nuke it, come in and sit down and visit a little bit. So I put 2 chicken bouillons in here, and I have 3/4 of a cup of water. I nuked it a little bit to dissolve those cubes. But you've got that bacon grease, you've got the spices and the dredged chicken. And when it all steams in there, that goodness, oh, that's going to be good. That is going to be good. I'm going to turn the chicken over. Let it cook on the other side. I'm going to grab my lid. because this is going to be lidded. So I got my nice lid. Yeah, they are worth their weight in gold, folks. These Dutch ovens. I get into something and television, and I don't watch a lot of television at all. I watch very, very little television. I'm always looking at recipes and cookbooks. But I had muscle spasms and I was down. I was in the recliner for 2 days, 2+ days with the heating pad. And my kids are like, you need to start showing a little more chops. You need to start learning how to rest more, learning how to sit. You never sit. We never see you sitting. You're always moving. But anyhow, I was like, what am I going to watch? They'll tease me. They'll come in. And my latest thing is the Waltons. And I thought once I'm done the Waltons, because there's what? 32 seasons, 16 episodes a season. That'll keep me, it may take me 2 days to watch one episode, half hour. I don't sit long. I'm not a sitter. But I stumbled across Billy Joel's documentary he had done in 2023, 24. I don't know. I think it took it more than a year to do. And he released it in the summer of 2025, last summer. As It Was, I think, Billy Joel... As It Was, something like that. I wish I knew the name right now. But it's on HBO. Google it. Let me tell you, I love Billy Joel. I love all, not all genres. I'm not really into heavy metal. But there's a couple songs I like. Oh, this is browning. We are just a minute or two away. This is browning. Just beautiful, folks. Oh, it's beautiful. It is just cooking so nice. I'm going to show you that. Beautiful, beautiful. Look at that. Look how nice that's cooking. Absolutely. And if you could smell it, oh my gosh. It smells beautiful. But anyhow, this documentary, this Billy Joel documentary, he is naked right down to his DNA in this. When I say that, I mean the honesty. And his first wife, Elizabeth, I believe her name is, the pure honesty and the authenticity and the openness and the willingness to share that with us, because I'm a firm believer in celebrities don't owe us anything, folks, and they really don't, okay? Just like I'm a firm believer in it's none of my business what you feel about me. I'm not going to give it any time in my life. I'm not going to give it any space. If you see, I don't know, Diana at the market and she's like stubbing you, that's okay. Okay, that's her space. That's her feelings. It's none of my business what anyone feels about me. It is my business how I treat others. And that's how I can lay my head down at night, because I treat others very well. But anyhow, this documentary is just phenomenal, and it's more than one episode. I finally finished episode 1. It took me 2 days, and it's just beautifully done. And so if you have the opportunity and you like documentaries, I think you'd really enjoy this, especially if you're a Billy Joel fan, which I am. I saw Billy Joel with Elton John in the 80s at the Spectrum with my bestie and her husband and my husband. And we had nosebleed seats, folks. And I said, I didn't wait this long and come this far to see a speck of Billy Joel. Look at all those seats, front row seats, down there in these boxes, and there ain't a soul in them. Whoever purchased those tickets found something that they thought was better they wanted to do. Well, I've got news for you. I want to sit in your box seat. So I said to my girlfriend, I said, we're going to go down there like we own these seats. Like, our tickets are for these seats. Oh, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. So my husband, now my ex-husband, we have a great friendship. I still love him to death. He's a great guy. But anyhow, I said, well, you're coming with me. And he knew, oh yeah, he's going with me. So we went down and sat in this box seat at the Spectrum in Philadelphia, front row. You could feel the air coming off of Billy Joel's fingers when he stroked the piano. That's how close we were. And my friend didn't come. Security came along and they're like, are these your seats? And I'm like, well, of course they're our seats. We're sitting in them, aren't we? Do you have your tickets? I'm like, yeah, we're watching the concert. Here's our tickets. Okay, thank you. You're welcome. Who was in the next box seat but a family from 10 miles down the road? My daughter was going, it was in school with their daughter, and they're like, is that Barb Kelly? Yes, and it was another family. So we chit-chatted with them, and they're like, oh, you got, and they were a little wealthier than us, believe me when I tell you. You got box seats. How did you get them? Because their nephew was on the setup and breakdown committee, I think, for Billy Joel or Spectrum. So that's how they got theirs. And I got mine just how I told you. Oh, this is beautiful, friends. Oh, this chicken is gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Look at how nice and brown and crisp that chicken is. Look at that. That is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful. So, I'm going to take the chicken out. Oh my gosh, that is just beautiful. That is just gorgeous. I'm going to turn my Dutch oven on. Oh my gosh. Beautiful. I've got a little pot over here in my sink. Boom. Just a metal kind of a pot. And I'm going to dump a lot of that grease off, folks. I don't want all that chicken grease in my meal. Oh, that is beautiful. I am now gonna pour my chicken stock in the bottom. Watch that simmer. That is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I'm gonna use my wooden paddle and I'm gonna turn this on. I'm gonna turn it on high and just kind of scrape the bottom of all that brown and all that spice that's stuck to the bottom. It's all coming up now, guys. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. It's a deep, rich, brown chicken stock sauce. Turn it down so I can show you. It's just beautiful. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. I'm gonna put my chicken back in. And I did 6 thighs and they fit perfectly in the bottom of that Dutch oven. They fit absolutely perfect in there. In the bottom. Beautiful. Now I'm going to take my potatoes And I'm just going to throw them on top, right on top of the chicken. My carrots, right on top of the chicken. My cabbage, boom. Oh, we lost just a little bit, and that's all right, we'll get it. I'm going to smush that down. Absolutely I am. I'm going to crumble this bacon on top. Look at that. Look at that, guys. Couple bits of bacon. You don't want to lose any of your bacon. That is beautiful. Now, oh, piece of cabbage. I saw in the bottom, we had like this much juice. I need just a little more. I just know that I do. Whoops. So I'm going to take and I'm going to pour maybe a half a cup. And I'll check that after it's cooked a little bit. I'm going to put my lid on it. I shoved it down and I'm going to put it right in the oven. My oven's set at 300, and that's heavy, guys. 365 degrees. And we're going to let that bake and that cabbage simmer and those potatoes and carrots cook for about, I'm going to check it in about a half an hour, but we're probably going to let it go a full hour. But I might take the lid off and leave the lid off. I'll just have to see what it's doing. I like my cabbage a little browned a little bit. So we're going to let it go for half an hour, 45 minutes, and then we'll come back and check it, okay, guys? So hang tight and let it cook a little bit. I'm going to do up the dishes and clean up the kitchen. And I'll be back in just a few minutes. I'm back, friends. The kitchen's all cleaned up. The Billy Joel documentary is called And So It Goes. Great documentary. The dinner is all done. It looks absolutely amazing. It's very heavy. So I did it in the Dutch oven. You could do it in a stainless steel pot and just put a lid on and cook it on top of the stove if that's what you have. Just cook it on low, medium low, cover it. You don't have to cook it in a Dutch oven. You could even do it in like a lasagna pan and tinfoil the lid if you want. So you don't have to, just because I'm doing it in a Dutch oven. And when you see recipes or you see things that, oh, I'd like to do that, but I don't have this, you can always compromise. So that's really smells. It smells like it's straight from the County Mayo in Ireland, folks. That's where it smells like it's from. Right from the hills of Ireland. Oh, just absolutely gorgeous. I'm gonna get some of that juice and all that flavor and goodness. And I'm going to marinate the top of this cabbage real nice. Oh, absolutely beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. There's your chicken. Oh, the chicken's just falling apart. Look at that, folks. It's just falling right apart. Pieces of the chicken. And I cooked that for about 45 minutes. 350 degree oven and kept it covered. Everything's done. Yep, the cabbage is done. Let me check the potatoes. Oh, yep, the potatoes are done. The carrots are done. That's ready to go, guys. What a nice one pot meal. I wish I could tell you how good it smells in here. That's going to be delicious. It's a hearty meal. I appreciate you coming along with me to do the Irish chicken today. I hope you're having a great week, and I'll see you in a few days, friends. Okay? So take care. It was good spending some time with you. Bye now.